Mic check 1 2, it's the Y2K collector, and while everyone is going crazy over the Xbox 360, now is your chance to pick up all of the Nintendo Wii games and all of the PS3 games that no one is paying attention to. And I feel like that's the best collecting strategy that you can really adopt, because while the prices are shooting up on the 360, you know, there's a ton of really great games that you can find on the not only the PS3, which I've talked about a lot on the channel, but really on the Wii. I think a lot of people have the perception of the Wii that it's mostly made up of shovelware games, which it is. I'm not gonna lie, the Wii has my least favorable library out of every collection that I have. I would say that my Wii collection is the smallest collection that I have, but I'd be lying, because that title actually goes to both the Neo Geo and the Neo Geo Pocket. I only have 3 games for both of those consoles. So, but the Wii is definitely up there when it comes to consoles that I do not have a lot of games for. And I feel like there's a lot of really great titles that you can pick up on the Wii right now, while everyone is so fixated on the Xbox 360. So I'm not gonna take too much time. I'm going to show you 7 games that you may not realize are absolute hitters on the Wii. And we're going to start off with this bad boy right here. So this is Kirby's Dream Collection. This is actually the special edition. There's 2 versions of this game. I have the special edition here, and this is pretty much a disc that includes Kirby's Dream Land for the Game Boy, which I actually had growing up as a kid. Kirby's Adventure on the NES, didn't have that one. Kirby's Dream Land 2, I definitely don't have that one. I never got that one either. Wish I did. Kirby Superstar, I recently picked that up for the Super Nintendo. Kirby's Dream Land 3, I actually purchased a fake copy of that game from GameStop not too long ago. And then Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards. So really cool selection of Kirby games here, all in a one-stop shop format for you. And the best part about it is that you're able to use not only the Wii remote, but you can also use like Nintendo's like standard gamepad, as well as the GameCube controller, which is really a controller that you want to use when you're playing these types of games. So a really good find if you can pick this up on the Wii. I actually got my copy from GameStop, as a matter of fact, and I was actually pretty shocked, because it was not only was it complete in box, but the manual was pretty much immaculate, and it came not only with the game disc, but then it comes with this like Dream Collection like compilation of soundtracks. So if you're into like CDs, it's got some great music along with it, and I think this is just a really sweet find for anyone who's interested in adding to their Wii collection. So definitely be on the lookout for this one. The next game that we have up here is Dragon Ball Revenge of Piccolo. This is a pretty cool 3D like action adventure game, like in a beat 'em up format on the Nintendo Wii. And again, what makes this one really cool is that, again, you can use the GameCube controller and the standard Nintendo gamepad on this. So if you want to get kind of like that old school beat 'em up feel, this is definitely a great one to find. This game reminds me of Dragon Ball Z Adventure on the Game Boy Advance, but just in a 3D format. If you've never played that game is sick. I remember playing that a bunch a couple years ago, and I actually beat it. But it's pretty much like a beat 'em up. You know, you go through each level, beating up the side characters, and then when you finally get to a boss, you play the boss fights as almost like in a 2D fighter format. We're almost like in a Dragon Ball Tenkaichi format style. And I think this is just a really cool game on the Wii. I'm not sure if this was available on any other console. I don't remember seeing it on any other console, but this is another fun one that you could pick up on the Wii, and don't sleep on this. I definitely recommend it, especially if you're a fan of the Dragon Ball series. We have another one here. This is the Tatsunoko versus Capcom. So this is right up there with, you know, top tier Capcom fighters. Right up there with X-Men versus Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter, Marvel versus Capcom, Marvel versus Capcom 2, Marvel versus Capcom 3. This one is right up there. This is another one of those games that I'm shocked didn't get a physical release on like the Xbox 360 or on the PS3, especially when it came out. I'm not sure what the deal was with that. If it did, someone let me know down in the comments, because I don't ever remember seeing that. But this is a pretty cool fighter. I actually had this multiple times in my collection, and I sold it multiple times. When I finally got a sealed copy, I decided to keep my copy sealed. Cool thing about this game is that you can use the GameCube controller as well as the standard gamepad for the Wii on this one. You know, it's very hard to play, you know, fast-paced fighting games with, you know, a nunchuck. It's just not gonna work. So I'm glad that Nintendo was smart enough to kind of give you those controller options with some of these more action-based games. Got another action-packed one for you. This one I kept sealed. This is Muramasa the Demon Blade, best game of E3 of 2009. This is like, I think Odin Sphere on steroids, right? So just an amazing side-scrolling hack and slasher with that beautiful 2D art style. You know, as you level your character up, you can learn new combos, implement different like attacks, and again, you're able to use the GameCube controller and that standard controller, and you need those types of controllers for these tactile games. You know, you want to be able to control the character and get out your combos and get out all your special moves. So there is a Muramasa that is available on the PS Vita. I think I was just looking at that the other day. So there is another Muramasa. This is Muramasa Rebirth. So this is the one that I think more people are probably familiar with on the PS Vita. I don't know if they came out with this on the PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 3. I don't remember ever seeing it, but there's definitely a version on the Wii. So if you're looking for something unique and different on the Wii, now's the time to go looking out for these games, because you're probably going to get your best deals right now while everyone's hooked up on that 360 craze. All right, next up, if you're into shoot 'em ups, don't think that there weren't some really awesome shooters on the Wii, because there were a couple, and Castle of Shikigami 3 is definitely one that you'll want to check out. This is more of like your bullet hell style shoot 'em up. Castle of Shikigami 2 was available on the PlayStation 2. And then I can't remember where the original Castle of Shikigami, what system that was on. I don't know if it was Sega Saturn. Someone let me know down in the comments. You gaming historians, put me up on game. I'm drawing a blank right now, but this is definitely a cool bullet hell style shooter. Again, you get the standard gamepad or standard game controller option there, which of course you would need for shoot 'em ups. This is a good one. Kept my copy sealed. This is another one that I've had multiple copies of. This one is going to stay sealed in the collection, because again, you don't really see a lot of Wii games like this floating around. But be on the lookout, because it's a good one. Next up, you have Ultimate Shooting Collection. So this is actually a pretty cool compilation of a few different shoot 'em ups by UFO. The notable one that I am familiar with is Chaos Field. Chaos Field was released on the GameCube. I actually have the GameCube version of Chaos Field. A pretty cool game. I'm surprised that they didn't, and I know this game isn't, I don't think it was, I don't think UFO put this one out, but there's one that's available on the Nintendo 64, and I think it's Star Soldier. That's a pretty cool shoot 'em up. It's different. It's like a really, really watered down version of like Ray Crisis or Ray Storm. But it's like, it falls in line with those like 2.5D top-down shoot 'em ups. But this is a pretty cool collection of shoot 'em ups. And again, this just adds a little bit of a change up to your Wii collection. This is definitely one I'd be on the lookout for. And then last but not least, a really, really cool hack and slasher by Xseed called Pandora's Tower. So this is a very interesting third-person hack and slash style game, adventure game on the Wii. This one I think is a little bit more linear, plays like God of War, think God of War style, and again, you do have that classic controller option available to you. So just a really cool one. I got into this a little bit when I first picked it up, dove into it. Like I said, I got a lot of like God of War vibes when playing this one, but a very interesting title, a very unique title, and one that you'll definitely want to be on the lookout for the Wii. And you know, a lot of times when there's a lot of hype and attention around one particular console, you tend to forget, you know, all the other options that are out there and available to you you know, when it comes to some of the other systems that you have. So for me, when it comes to all the consoles that are part of the same generation as the 360, I just view it as now as being my time to stock up on PS3, stock up on Wii, because eventually the same thing, you're going to get some piece of news. All it takes is one piece of news. All you got to do is wake up one day and someone's going to release an article about something shutting down or something going out of print, or they're going to close the servers or whatever, you know, and then all of a sudden everyone's jumping on whatever the latest, you know, trend is. But, and don't get me wrong, there are some amazing 360 titles that if I happen to see them, I would grab them for sure, because there are a ton of really good games on the 360. But with the prices rising and everybody continuing to talk about the prices rising, when you go to buy some of these 360 games, people are going to feel justified in trying to up the price on you, because they're gonna be like, well, you know, 360 is hot right now. So I try to stay away from that, and go after the games that I can at least, you know, negotiate some type of bargain or deal for, and then I'll circle back on the 360 when it dies back down, because these things are all cyclical. 1 minute everyone's on a console, and then the next minute no one really cares. So it's the Y2K Collector. Hopefully I threw a little bit of a change up in your algorithm today. I know Wii is not the hottest thing to talk about, but if you don't have any of these games, check them out. They're all bangers, or what I would consider bangers, meaning they're all fun games to play. But that does it for me. I'm the Y2K Collector. I may be back this evening with another video, but if not, enjoy and take it easy.